Good late evening. It's the 1st of April, 2026, and I'm Reg Knight. Well, I had decided initially I was not going to say anything about Donald Trump's words tonight, but I was a little deterred and restless in my spirit, so I decided to go ahead and do at least part one tonight. And I want to talk about how we got here. See, this started way back in 1953 when Iran wanted to nationalize their oil resources. And so, the oil barons and the CIA did not like that. So they staged a coup. They overthrew the regime. They served for a while. They did not like that regime. And then they installed the Shah of Iran, who remained in power until 1979. And he had a secret police, not unlike ICE, that was brutal and tortured people. And this was the catalyst for the Islamic Revolutionary Guard. And you know what happened in 1979, where they took over the embassy and they held a lot of employees in the embassy and diplomats for 400 some odd days. But for the record, they treated them with respect. They didn't torture them. They just kept them there, which was wrong, but that's where we were. But in fact, if it was so bad, why did Ronald Reagan request that Iran not release those hostages until after he was elected? Don't take my word for it. Take it as historical fact. So now, Donald Trump also told another lie. He said that Iran was responsible for the 1983 Beirut bombing. Complete lie. That was Hezbollah. They took responsibility for it. And I don't know if Iran supplied materials for that, but as far as the planning, and in fact, they have said in official documents, they didn't know anything about it until after it had happened. So now we have all this animus with Iran being the bad guy that's not, going from country to country, bombing people, not persecuting Palestinians, not taking up huge swaths of land that don't belong to them. Because Israel says, well, we're God's chosen people and, Israel belongs to us. But what about the West Bank? What about Lebanon? What about all these other places that they are imposing their will on a people who just want to live in peace? And that's why Hezbollah is there. And by the way, once the IDF squares up with people who have pew-pews like them, they don't do so well. Don't take my word for it. Go on international news and you can check it out. So the last thing I want to say for tonight is that Trump said that we had never seen anything like this before, which is another lie. In March 1965, President Johnson sent 3,000 military advisors to Vietnam, 2 battalions of Marines, and they were only supposed to be there to be advisors. Several months later, he sent 50,000, and before long, there were 500,000 U.S. troops in Vietnam. And 5 years later, in 1973, we left Vietnam, billions of dollars in the hole, and we did not win. In fact, that war was not concluded until 1975 under another administration. I see where this is going, folks, if history is going to repeat itself completely, because General Westmoreland, who was the commander of all the forces in Vietnam, he had the same strategy. We're going to bomb them into the Stone Age, and we're going to have a war of attrition. And they bombed, and they burned, and they tortured, and the NBA never gave up. The U.S. finally signed a peace agreement in Paris in 1973, and they did a structured withdrawal. And now Vietnam operates as an independent country, not separated by North and South. Yes, my friends, we have seen this escalation before. We have seen that air power and might does not win a war. It all boils down to the will of the people. Right now, there's no stomach in America to prosecute a war that the Israelis should be fighting on their own. We don't want to see our men and women come back in aluminum coffins, but I fear we are going to see exactly that. Because no matter what Trump tells you, he has said himself, he wants that oil on Carg Island. And if he has to send Marines and airborne soldiers in harm's way to get it, he's going to do exactly that. But the only problem in this scenario, this is not Venezuela. This is a country with 3 million people that they can call upon to fight for the country. This is a nation that has not lost all of its weaponry. And I think in the weeks to come, we're going to see exactly what they have up their sleeves. Last item, and I know this is a long video for me, is that the Pentagon didn't even tell you that an island off the coast of Kuwait was attacked 2 days ago with missiles and drones from Iran. It's reported that a number of Marines were injured, were some unalived. I can't say for sure, but the number of what I'm seeing on international news could be close to 300. So do not think for 1 minute, just because he gets on TV and tells you this is going to be a walk in the park, it won't be. Last point, if the U.S. does leave right now, it's going to create quite the vacuum. So the pew-pewing and unaliving won't stop. It will just be the end of the U.S. presence in the Middle East. More on this tomorrow. It's the 1st of April, 2026, and I'm Reg Knight. Have a good evening.